Hi, I'm Skylar,
And I'm Steve.
and here we are diving at the Blue Grotto in Williston, Florida. And as you can see right now, we just started our dive here, and this is about 20 feet. We're gonna try and descend down to the cave, which is about 130 feet, and we didn't really want to go that deep, so our max depth was about 91 feet. And so we're descending right now. We're on the guideline trying to go down, and it's very clear water. There's about 70 to 80 foot visibility. It was cold. Some people were going in there with dry suits. My dad actually went in with a shorty, and I put on about a 5 millimeter wetsuit, and I did just about fine in there.
I got cold. A little bit.
It is pretty cold. They say it's a constant 72 degrees in there, but I don't believe that. Maybe sometimes it'll change, but very fun dive. We also did the Devil's Den close to Williston, kind of in the same neck of the woods there. We also did that, but I recommend that if you're going to do two dives, if you're going to try and fit both of them in, try and do the Blue Grotto first, spend a few hours there, and then try and go to the Devil's Den. I recommend doing both of them, but make sure you get to go to the Devil's Den before 5. Here we are at the first platform. This is about 25 feet, and as you can see, there's the second platform about 35 feet. And we're just trying to make sure all of our gear works. So you see I'm doing an okay sign. We're just trying to see if everything works, trying to get our buoyancy right. There's very fine silt down there, so we're trying not to kick any of the silt up down there. So we had to get our buoyancy right, BCD, we had to make sure all of our gear works. So right now we're descending down to that second platform. We were just on that first platform there. You can really see how clear the water is. We're about almost 40 feet down right there, and it's very clear water. My mom was up there snorkeling up on the surface, so that's who you see up there. But we almost had the whole place to ourselves. There was a few divers down there that were just leaving the cave entrance when we were heading down to the cave, so we had our whole place to ourselves right there. That was pretty neat. And as you can see right here, here's some of the divers practicing. They're doing a controlled stop here, trying to make themselves way back up to the top. So they're on their way up to the top, and then after that, you can see them leaving right there. And we had the whole place to ourselves after that. There was nobody in there. It was pretty interesting. So we're past the second platform now. This is about 45 feet deep, and the more deeper you go, the more colder it gets, and the more darker it gets. And here's a little turtle that my dad actually thought it was a real turtle, but it's actually a metallic turtle down there. It's metal. I thought it was real too, but it wasn't. But they actually have a real turtle there. It was a softshell turtle, and it was named Virgil the turtle. You can actually go and get some little fish food and stuff for him to feed it. And right there is the cave entrance. There's actually 2 caves there, and this is the one that everybody can go down, but there's a second one that you have to be cave certified down. And just coming over that edge there, it was dark, deep, and pretty scary. So we had to get our light out and try and see what's down there. And that was pretty deep down there. This is about maybe 60, 65 feet right about down here. It's kind of the cave entrance here. So here I am trying to go down. Try not to disturb any of the silt or anything, because it'll get pretty hard to see down there. It's very fine silt. You don't want to mess with any of that. You always want to make sure you check your air pressure, clean your mask, get the hair out of your mask. Always want to make sure everything's working fine before you go any deeper. So here we are going deeper and deeper into the cave. Now we decided that if me or my dad didn't want to we didn't want to go down any deeper. Dad and I, we were gonna look at each other and say, well, nope. See, there I am shaking my head, going, no, I don't want to go down there anymore, 'cause it did get pretty deep. Lord knows how far back those caves go. So there's the entrance of the, not the entrance, but there's looking up from the entrance of the cave right there. And it looks kind of like you're on the moon a little bit down there. There's a lot of rocks down there, and that's about 90 feet down there. There's a little manatee right there. It's not a real manatee, it's just a stone figure that it was something interesting to see down there. There I am posing for a picture there.
Actually, that's a dolphin. It's a dolphin.
Oh, it is a dolphin. Well, manatee. It's Florida. So there, right there, you can see the very fine silt. I mean, if you would just barely touch that thing, it'd really really float all over the place there. And right there, it was pretty interesting because some of the rock figures were pretty cool. They were kind of soft and bumpy, and some of them were hard, and some of them were scary. So right about there I am trying to correct my buoyancy. I kind of messed it up a little bit going down there. But right there you can see the platforms, the diving platforms down there that they use for training. Here we are ascending up to the diving bell, which is about 45 feet. The acoustics were really weird in there. It was kind of like a reverse aquarium there. You were in the dry, but the fish were actually coming up and looking at you. And you were in the water, but they were coming up and looking at you, which was pretty weird. So here we are in the diving bell. We are leaving the diving bell now, so we're ascending up back to the surface. We're just taking it slow, trying to go back up. And it's amazing how friendly the fish are there. They'll come up, they'll nibble at you, they'll do whatever they want to you. But they're very friendly. They'll come up and talk to you. Not really, but they'll come up and just look at you. There's a catfish right there. I kind of stirred up a little bit of the silt there, but there's a catfish right there. It's pretty big. Not too big. You have to really watch your buoyancy down there because you don't want to mess up any of that fine silt. And there's a little fish right there just wondering what you're doing. There's the second platform there. That's the 2 of 3. There's 3 platforms down there. And that one's about 25 feet there. Is the second platform. Here I was just messing around here trying to do some stuff. Just trying to do some flips, doing weird little stuff. But there sure was a lot of fish in there. We also did the Devil's Den dive down there, and if you want to see some pretty spooky caves down there, go to the Devil's Den, and that's a lot scarier than this place. I mean, just Lord knows how far back those caves go, but that's Devil's Den. Here's some of these. There's like these little cracks right here, and you can see where some of the divers' bubbles were filling up some little cracks there with little air pockets there.
That chain is the descent line. It kind of goes from the platform down through the cave. It's way down deep. If you grab a hold of that, you're supposed to grab a hold of that chain. If you're going to go to the very, very, very bottom of this, it's about 125, 35 feet or so. I'm not exactly sure. We didn't really plan on going that far, but they suggest that you go down, grab a hold of that chain, stay attached to it, and go all the way around, and it'll come out through the other side. We followed it down from both sides, but we didn't take it all the way to the bottom.
My legs were starting to get tired, so I started using my hands. My dive master always told me not to use my hands, so sorry about that. So here we are going up to the top of the water. We're starting to run out of air. We had just enough to we could still stay down there for another 10 minutes or so, but very nice facilities there at the Blue Grotto. You can get your tanks filled and get a bite to eat. You can practice in the pool. And it's very nice. We've got these little pavilions there you can park your car in, and they've got these little picnic tables you can set your stuff on. So here we are at the very top of the water here. It was a pretty nice day there. It was a little overcast, but just enough you could still see pretty good. It was a little overcast, but not bad. It's a very good dive for beginners, anybody, cave divers, anybody that really wants to go dive. It's a very good dive. Now, right about there at the platform, there was a whole bunch of fish there, and when you try to get in, there's my mom there, and there's my mom fell in love with the turtle there. Cute little turtle. You can pet it, you can feed it, but don't harass it. So this is the end of the video here. We hope you enjoyed watching this Blue Grotto in Williston, Florida, and we hope you enjoyed this. Bye bye.